With Zenless 2.0 wrapped up, I want to give my overall opinion about the 2.0 patch and the anniversary. So let's start off with the anniversary. I thought the anniversary was good. It was presented and packaged well. The first anniversary being on a big patch like 2.0 was a very good call. With the huge amount of content and quality of life changes that came with 2.0, it made the anniversary more memorable. There were a lot of good events, and giving out a free 5-star standard character and free 5-star standard W engine is a great way to celebrate a milestone. Next, I want to go over the introduction of Season 2 story. I came into this hoping Season 2 story would be better, especially the overall pacing for the season. I'm going to break this down into a couple of categories, which is the plot, story pacing, cinematography, and sound design. I'll leave timestamps if you want to jump around. I'm going to rate them based on gacha game standards. Warning, there are going to be spoilers. I came into the 2.0 story with high hopes and expectations. I thought Season 1 story was okay, but the overall pacing was horrible. It continues off at 1.7. Due to the events related to the Exaltus in Season 1, Belle and Weiss must lay low. Coincidentally, the mayor informed the siblings their teacher was spotted in Lemnian Hollow. This prompted Belle and Weiss to travel to Weifei Peninsula, became disciples of Yunkai Summit, and trained under Yi Xuan. I like the fact that the Phaeton siblings are starting to be more hands-on and can now stay in the halls for a longer period of time. I'm glad that 2.0 is not just another side story, and we get actual good meaningful progression to the story. You'll be introduced to the other disciples of Yunkai Summit, and Yu Fufu will show you around Feilum Heights, which is the main city area. A good amount of time in 2.0 story was used on world building, some backstory of Yi Xuan, and the history of the Sibian Temple. While looking around the city, you hear there was an accident and the workers are demanding compensation from the company Porcelumix. Porcelumix stated that the compensation is coming, but will take some time to process. Porcelumix hire people from Feilum Heights to mine porcelain. I think it is a main ingredient for an anti-corruption medication. The workers and their families are provided with anti-corruption medicine to help alleviate their conditions and allow them to work in the hollow for a longer period of time. But due to the accident, the workers are suspicious and believe the rumors that the anti-corruption medicine they have been receiving from Porcelumix is of an inferior kind. They believe they've been getting scammed, and it's a ploy to make them work longer for Porcelumix. Fortunately for the workers, an alternative ether resistance medicine named Alleviating Waters was being provided by Dr. Lore. Belle and Weiss, whichever your main character is, was convinced to find evidence against Porcelumix regarding the accident. Once they find evidence, it was given to Dr. Lore for him to further investigate. Once Dr. Lore publicized his findings, the workers riot and go apeshit. We later found out that Dr. Lore was working with for the Exaltus, and the evidence was purposely planted to make Porcelumix look bad and to further their evil plans. We beat the Overseer and seemingly for the Exaltus' plan, but not really. It looks like whatever we didn't really hinder the Exaltus' plan too much. The Overseer is still alive, and he brought back Yi Xuan's dead sister in a form of an ethereal. And that's where it pretty much ends for there. I think it ends at a good spot, and I'm really looking forward to 2.1. I really hope the story doesn't go off on a tangent again like Season 1, and we don't get any like progression to the story till like 2 or 3 patches later. And I hope we don't go like side questing, like I guess getting to know other faction more or whatnot, because that wasn't really my thing in Season 1. The story pacing in 2.0 was alright for the most part. I think my only complaint is they spent too much time on Yi Xuan's backstory and some side quest stuff. I preferred if they slice out the parts of Yi Xuan's backstory that isn't essential to the main story and make it into an event, like what they did with Yu Fufu's story and the previous character's side story or backstory. Besides that, the pacing's alright. I feel the cinematography in 2.0 was a little bit of a downgrade compared to Season 1. Season 1 still had the split screen character interactions and comic book style presentation. The cutscenes are well animated, so there's no really complaints there from me. What made me feel like it was a bit of a downgrade from season one is that they started cutting more corners by using the the Hoyo famous black screen white text. For example, when Phaethon goes into training or into their training arc with Yi Xuan, and the whole training arc was presented in a black screen white text. Instead, it would have been nice if they put like a screenshot of Phaethon's training with just text. I think that should be at least the bare minimum for Horrorverse, considering how much money they make off of or make from ZZZ. I think the sound design in ZZZ is probably the weakest aspect of the game, specifically the uses of the voice acting. This was a persistent issue for me in season one. It's jarring when we get voice acting during the split screen interaction cutscenes, and when we swap to the overworld, we don't get any voiceovers at all. Although in 2.0 they added like grunts and sighs in the overworld interaction, which makes me feel like they acknowledge the overworld having no voice issue, but their solution is to just add grunts and sigh. It's so lazy and it's just a joke of a solution. I hold Hoyoverse at a high standard because I consider them to be the number one company in the gacha space. So I might give passes to other smaller companies because I might say like, oh, they have a smaller production budget, but that's not a pass that I'll give to Hoyoverse because they're making probably over $100 million a month with all their gacha titles combined. We had a lot of events in 2.0. Most of the events I did like and thought was good. My favorite ones were the 141 battery artwork, Triple Bounty, and Festival Channel. These were the ones that barely required any efforts outside the daily stamina usage. The Golden Proxy Awards annual ceremony was cute. I had a lot of fun with the trivia and the highlights and the recaps of your account progression. The social aspect of the gravitational attraction event was a bit of a miss for me. I understand they're trying to put more depths into their NPC characters, but I don't really care too much about it. I did like the KTE game part of that event. I didn't like the Robo Bangbu event, Soul of Steel Golden Bond. The controls felt very clunky and stiff to use. I didn't like the restrictiveness of the progression system at all. Operation Yum is a quick, easy gimme event. Phalum Heights Sightseeing Guide event was good. I like being rewarded for exploration. Festival Channel is probably the best event to date. A free 5-star standard and free 5-star W engine is huge. There's no really arguing about that. The Triple Bounty is great too. It helps account progression overall for all players. I didn't like the Temple Management permanent event too much. It's nice seeing the temple transform as you level up, but the side quest mission felt a bit of a hassle to do. Those side quest missions felt like I must go out of my way to complete them, or else my temple just gets put on a standstill and doesn't level up. And this permanent event doesn't really have a lot of replayability after you buy out the pawn shop. It's like the mystery of Arpeggio Vault. Like you just do it once and that's it, and it's pretty much forgotten. Overall, even though I didn't personally like all the events in 2.0, I think they were still pretty good events. Zenless 2.0 came with a few game changes and a few quality of life changes. One big change is they overhauled the fast travel menu. The issue with the previous iteration was it was not intuitive and user friendly. It was fine at launch because we didn't have a lot of areas, but as we unlock more areas, the issue became more obvious. There were a couple of problems with the old fast travel menu. One big problem was the areas are organized in a horizontal list. So when we get new areas, the horizontal list gets longer and the user must scroll like left or right to find their destination. Another issue is the horizontal list only shows the area's icon. So unless you hover over the icon, it won't display the area's name. And some areas' icon are not easily distinguishable. When you select an area, there will be also another horizontal list on the bottom, prompting you to select which destination you want to teleport to within that area. This needed to be changed, and change is what we got in 2.0. They revamped the fast travel menu and renamed it to Quick Nav, and added a map as an alternative way to fast travel. To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of either of them. The quick nav does solve the problem of the areas not being named, but it still has the issue of the horizontal list. When you select an area, there's still another horizontal list at the bottom that you have to navigate left or right. Um, it is better, but I think it still needs work. So about the map, an issue with the map option is there's no legend or key to tell you what all these icons are unless you click on them. There's so many icons and it's just really hard to remember them all. In 2.0, they changed the Hollow experience into a more instant overworld exploration base. It looks like they're trying to reduce the amount of Bang Boo usage since they want Phaethon to be more hands-on and interactive. I like this change and find it fun being able to teleport to the Hollow and explore. I look forward to more of this. An issue I see that will arise in the future is this Hollow exploration instance is in the quick nav and the map. So as we see more of this gets released, it'll just make the quick nav and map feature more convoluted. I suggest Hoyoverse to rework the HDD system and make it so all your Hollow needs or Hollow travel needs should be through the HDD system. Let me know what you guys think about 2.0 and the anniversary. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and have a nice day.